Good evening, revered crowd. We welcome you to the 6-6 format in season 47, or in other words, spring 2024 Division 1's lower bracket final. And in the concrete matchup, we bring you two superpower, which is already conveyed by taking a cursory glance at the corresponding flags of each respective team when you have a glance on their profile and team page. Anyway, we have Alien Workshop, who are the lower seed, versus坏蛋必须死, or translated as bad guys always die, being the higher seeded team in this current matchup. We'll get to the little story leading up to this concrete matchup in a second, but I'm Domato. With me is Ben on the co-casting duty and on the microphone. And for production, don't be angry, don't be anxious, just JMax and chill in the background as we have him bringing all the action to you. Alien Workshop is represented by Wild Piggy in Scout, Sneaky on the complementary Scout, and probably as the Pocket Scout. You see on Soldier, Kusuki on Soldier as well, Heavy as the main demo man joining in, and Lucky will probably bring them this much needed luck on the medic class as we roll out. Ben, quickly, who is opposing to try it?
Yeah, the other side is going to be, well, ETF2L match page. Lander is taking all the spots, but Lander will be really playing on demo. They've got Rory and Vanu on the Scouts, Raymond and the Ox on the Soldier, and Shio joining on the Medicus. First mid-fight already underway. It's a big pressure across the point now from the red side, taking a bit of space. The left side looks like these teams might be beating on the corner.
Yeah, Kusuki was vying forward here and he's going to get jumped upon. Dorum and doesn't ignore him, however, and the soldiers have swapped as they rotate counterclockwise. Rather, Vanu is the first victim of this very long, drawn-out fight. Well, Piggy claims that frag for his own team.
Poison nuke! More bombs coming in as well. Everyone on the red side getting taken down by this. Lucky getting far to the other side there, but Lucky staying away for now. Rory going to be in. No, not going to get the damage away. Lucky gets the pack in time, and Alien Workshop. What a turn of pace, and what a bomb that was there from Justy.
Brilliant. If you look how coordinated they were playing, they were just rotating all around the point, and then finally it all opened up after a scout got cleaned up on the top there by Wild Piggy. It forced the bombs, it enabled the initiators. Doraemon is only then spawning and trying to secure some ground, but 100% advantage right now for Lucky, and Gio slowly building up, but he will not catch up in time.
Yeah, it's kind of a win here for the red side to even get out of spawn, because you see sometimes in these situations where you get wiped on mid so late that you get trapped in, but now the Uber charge are coming in, they've still got a full Uber descent to contend with, and cap time coming through already. Players going to have to start jumping in on the red side to try and put this point, but the cap time, it's almost made it all the way through 1-for-1 so far in terms of hits, and there's actually a lot of health being dropped down on the Alien Workshop side, so it's not gone quite as cleanly as they'd have hoped. And Lucky's gone down also to a stray rocket as well, and now they're going to have to start backing up as it looks like a successful defense on the red side.
Suppressive fire of the Heavy teamed up with a barrage of rockets there from Doraemon, claiming a Lucky's life. That enabled the defense to work fully to that extent. Sneaky was getting the early cap time, but it was unfortunately for their own team not enough to...
Sneaky sneaking in.
Yeah, as a spy.
Are they aware?
Doing his namesake.
Soldiers and Last surely aware of this. The Raymond yet deals with it. Nice timing there from the Soldier. Dealt with the sneaky play coming in. It's also dangerous. There's quite a bit of residual cap time as well, so that cap could have come in very, very quickly, but as it stands, a player down now for Alien Workshop, and still some advantage for the red side as they start working their way in, and big bombs across the point already. Suzuki finds the Raymond.
Lucky's nowhere to be found. They rotated through the IT area and saw that push from the enemy team's IT long ago, and it enables a 60% advantage there onto Lucky, building currently with Sneaky clipping himself in the head there with his melee weapon. And let's see, they're waiting for their spawners, no soldiers, so this is very forcible here. Lucky is still on the point, but yeah, they're just, peering at each other and nothing is really happening. There comes the bomb right now, the Domra into the air.
Two soldiers flying in, both of them going down, but they get this all-important force. But on the other side of things, Tabby's already jumped all the way into mid. They're doing so much damage. Lander, very low HP, gets a nice arrow there in the way out. It looks like these four remaining players on the red side just going to screw themselves back out. And yeah, we're in a complete flip-flop scenario. This is an exact mirror of where we were about 30 seconds ago.
With the advent of soldiers arriving on each point, it seems to shift gears. I was picturing that maybe it was the first round there for Alien Workshop, which is what they would have probably liked, but a failed last push, and now we see this Piggy backing with the Uber stakes all the way. Soldiers bombing in, the Uber's not really being the core and nucleus. I'm just watching a choke point here as Lander and Gio wants to push, but they're waiting there. Kusuki's in! Doesn't get the final rocket.
good attempt though, and I guess that has slowed down the red advances. Now they're going to have to cap this up as Uber charges are going to be stabilizing. Lucky's going to be getting Uber just a couple of seconds now. As Kazuki, albeit going to be a back spawn, but they've still got one soldier into Yoshi here, so it's going to be hard to get this force through with even Ubers as well. Going to see how the pressure goes. We've got a soldier jumping all the way behind into two. Going to be taken down Ox, and the other soldier of Dorima going down also. So now actually, maybe this is flipping over to Alien Workshop's favour.
Ox is going head first, but Zio also is a bit sold there, almost really far forward, and it forces the Uber there in decent positions though to force the enemy team's Uber, but Mate get chased out completely as Kusuki is jumping behind. Zio completely caught into no man's land, going to get pushed into the air. Nice surf, but not enough. It rocks him down to the ground, landing on the rock, but ultimately it was not enough, and Ox was trying to force the ice in that earlier encounter, you know, to the behind area, but that was not happening as Sneaky was on the patrolling duty, and currently Zio is still on a respawner.
Yeah, there is a sniper to contend with on the way through this choke point. See how they deal with it. Seeing that there's high bumpers over towards rollout. It's going to be enough there. Kazuki just jumping in. Going to be able to lock that doorway. As now going to be some advantage, like we say. The Ubers were exchanged out, but getting caught out at the end of that fight means Lucky's going to have, what's this, 35-40-ish% advantage. Definitely something you can work with, and definitely something I want to push in. But going to have to see some improvements because last time when they had Adden to last, it didn't all go too well for them.
If you closely monitor this last hold here, then it's a very well, standard setup. Sentry gun is going to get dealt with though on the left side spawn, and the sniper still peeking there. Vanu from the left side not really finding his shots, and Tevi is already in without being forced early. Lucky does pop this onto his own consequences. Currently Zio completely caught there in the panic room, and only Rory is still getting away on the heavy weapons guy. Quite healthy still, and only 2 players left alive after all of that.
Yeah, again, they milked the Uber so far, but just couldn't quite do the damage afterwards. And like, again, the heavy, like up top, did so much work. And yeah, they were blazing panic room contesting, but going to be a big retreat, and all these forward spawns getting denied. Also, it means now Alien Workshop, they're going to be looking to leave mid as well. They're going to build. They're going to have a decent sized advantage, but they can't stay here for too long.
They can pelt their projectiles forward, however, since Zio is very late into this fight, just arriving at his own choke currently, as all the both soldiers going to bombard the skies. Vanu is also killed as a retaliation factor of that, and Kazuki alongside Yosti taken the high ground, and that forced the enemy team out.
Yeah, and again, like we say, Shea getting caught in that last hold is also important because now there's still an advantage for Lucky. They're demo down, and but Land is actually demo down as well. Getting caught out, some random spam there. Wild Piggy with the pistol are going to shoot down in front of that shutter as now Landon, no demo for last. With Uber Ad coming in for Alien Workshop, this is surely the best opportunity they've had yet.
Quite ambitious. She only have this 20% though to build, and they probably have it here in time. Lander down for the count though, so no stickies on the point, and that presents an opening if they're fast enough here to push currently, as they're taking their sweet time. Not currently, as Sneaker already gets a point half kept, so weak, going to get gunned away all over the map. However, it creates the opening here. They want to force, they are going to take that force. Kazuki bombing in.
They're losing so many players that they've already lost 3, and they're getting pressured even more, and they're going to get forced regardless. Alien Workshop getting caught out on the low ground on the grass. They're going to have to use this Uber, and that 3-man sack is essentially for naught, as now they're going to have to give up the second point. They're still going to be roughly even Ubers, and they might get even worse. Dorema's going to be in, nearly going to land those final couple of important shots there onto Lucky. But it's going to go down as second point being reclaimed by the red team.
Almost equal Ubers, while Piggy is still peering from this top IT area. He does back out currently, but gives the space for Tevi to walk in. He's already spearheading this push very much indeed. Vanu still on the right side, while Piggy, however, falling to Ox, and Kazuki trying to initiate, but he's so low on HP, and it will force a Workshop to go out. Doraemon jumping forward, not finding the rockets. Vanu trying to sneak up the IT area, but this midpoint should be, well, a point there for the team that is tagged up in the Chinese colors.
Absolutely, and now they're going to be capping this up, going to be equalising the Ubers again. And I've got to say, last time we've seen them trying to push into the Alien Workshop second point, it hasn't gone all too well. They've had some really aggressive soldier bombs that they haven't messed around waiting very long at all. It's been literally getting in position to bomb straight in. See if they're going to go for something similar this time. Looks like taking space over in sewer originally, and it looks like they're just going to a little bit slow this time. There's a couple of fake bombs coming in. Ox going to be trying to bait in Yoshi, trying to get that pick, but nope, seems like a bit of a pressure cook into second this time.
That was such a safe bomb there by Yusti. It was insane that he survived that, as the entire red populace did watch him. Ox, however, is a casualty, which will enable Alien Workshop greatly, as they can peek the chokes a little bit more free and easy and try to snag a player away, maybe expecting a counter sack here. Lander's team is backing out farther away, and Stickies are in the choke currently.
Absolutely. One player up though isn't enough for with the stickies and stuff, just not enough to really tempt the Alien Workshop side to go for anything really, as Hawks just spawn back in, get rolled out again, get buffed up, see what they can work on here. Looks like just, yeah, again, Sura is obviously the go-to place a lot of the time for these sort of pressure players. Losing one soldier, again, not the end of the world at all. Trying to push in. Looks like they're going to go the same way again. Let's see if they get any results this time round.
This game is such of ephemeral origin, honestly. Like
Vanu's under. Vanu's behind. Vanu's
yeah,
on the medic.
he's coming a bit.
He gets the drop.
That was such a crazy positioning, and all the players were forcing the ice there. Everyone was really pulling their weight. The red squadron was really well distracting all those players, and I mean, great catch there. Vanu just fragging Lucky away.
Yeah, absolutely, the pressure was on, but like the eyes needed to be over towards IT. There was no one watching lower IT at all. Vanu gets in completely undetected the whole time and hits 4 perfect scattergun drops, 2 on the medic, 2 on the demo man, and now going to be the first opportunity and Uber ad push in for the red side, and can they succeed where Alien Workshop has previously failed?
I don't want to insinuate that they're not covering all the perimeters there on Alien Workshop, but it is the playoffs and you're heading toward a grand final here potentially in Division 1, so those are kind of rookie mistakes. You can't have, you know, eyes that are not on every angle, as right now Gio is popping onto Rory and onto Lender. A lot of cap time is coming in. The Uber is going to be over right now, but someone needs to block here. Tevi just going to come in right now with the stickies, and Ox also going to get dealt with. Justi still on the point, Sneaky on the heavy weapons guy, and out of ammo still. Lender getting gunned away by the crazy laser pistol, and Zio in the lobby, kill binding, full wipe.
Yeah, again, it's these last pushes. Both these teams now causing problems. As again, yeah, just getting scrappy. You get a lot of cap time, but eventually Uber's going to fade, and all the cap time is great, but you're still going to have somebody able to tank the damage and stand on that point. But really well played there from Alien Workshop side, not allowing those options. Just a nice little shot there onto Ox. Going to delay one more spawn, and midpoint getting capped up. And look at this advantage. It's still 90%. Chio's only just spawned because he died so late in that previous fight. And this is, yeah, I'm not supposed to say it's potential for coast to coast. Obviously a long way to go yet. But the amount of ad they've got, they don't really have too much to worry about here coming in second.
Ah, crazy little bolt there, cheeky little bolt from the arrow, hitting Vanu, I think, or that might have been Rory in the heel, but it was not actually enough, as the Uber is going to come in right now, as they kept the second point. Sneaky is the primary focus of that Uber, and Gio is still dancing about, but the pipe in mid-air going to come in. However, Ox as well claiming Lucky's life, so it's a full out DM fight currently, as no medic is into play anymore, and Rory on the right side alongside a lander there, very, very comfortably settled in a passive defensive position, and that Uber is thwarted for the moment.
Yeah, when the medic goes down, particularly on the attacking side, it's so hard because there's such a scarcity of health on all these last points that you just can't get healthy on the last point. You can't just have that arrow, you can't have that buff, and it's so rough, especially for the attacking side. The defending team has the respawn bind or the respawn lockers or whatever they choose to use, but on the attacking side you don't have that luxury. As Kazuki going to be coming in on the sniper, getting one already. We've seen Kazuki's a bit of a product specialist, and on process you can make it work as well. Going to be off-classing onto the sniper, and already one kill. Maybe looking for even more as the gun's taken down. This is going to open up even more space.
They're currently developing Kazuki's position into the 5 area as he's peeking through that lobby, but Ox is going to easily read that. However, Tevi had some defending stickies, so it's a 1-1 trade. There's also Justi jumping in from behind, probably wanted more. Gio going down to about half HP, got some cap time, but Vanu still with a level 1 sentry gun on that point, and it is going to enable currently the lander team to push forward here.
Yeah, they decide better of it. It's 5v4 pushing out of last. There is still an engineer, of course, and last. It's really more of a 4v4 when you're fighting on the second point. Just had to poke in, just decide to think, you know, if there's a gap, maybe we'll send a counter sack, something like that. I respect the idea, especially when there's no sniper there. You know, the Kazuki was in the respawn queue, but now there is a sniper back on the field as Kazuki's respawned up. Going to be trying to see if they can click on any more heads, because last time they had some reasonably okay success. But Rory now on the other side going to be taking the SVS.
Notwithstanding the fact that we're still on a 0-0 scoreline, 13 minutes have gone by. But it was so, I wanted to say, it is such a volatile game. And, you know, fully charged body shot through the one area, Zio dying. I wanted to say, Kazuki, come on, show your mark on the game. Full drop, perfect predisposition. Come on, full push coming up now.
There's still some points to play, but the space has been taken on this right hand side, gun taken down. Just pressuring in the heavy to deal with as well. There's still a sniper, of course, in the middle of this push. See if that can have any impact. But actually, the frags seem to be going again in the defense's favour for now. It's down to a 3v3. The scrap is in and Lucky, last one to survive. Going to be kill binding on the way out. And again, another uber ad last push in this game. Both these teams struggling so much. But I've got to say, from Alien Workshop, the fact that Kazuki is allowed to get so much space in one and just drop the med like that that's alarm bells, right? Like, normally there's somebody spamming it, someone watching it, but it just wasn't the case, and that's as free as a med drop as you're ever going to get, really.
Kazuki is going to switch off that sniper, not going to tempt his luck further on, but I wanted to say, we're on Sunday currently, but it feels like some Freaky Friday action. It was basically as if the sides have swapped. Now Alien Workshop completely wiped, and then Lander's team had 3 or 4 players surviving alongside their medic, which was basically the inverse scenario that we had 5 to 6 minutes ago. But you see how it flips, and that's what I wanted to say. 0-0 scoreline, but such a dynamic game currently, as Ox is still high bombing, and they have 20% advantage, but this is very negotiable currently, as Lucky will probably get it in time, but the push is going to come out through 1.
Yeah, straight in already. Going to be 95% unlucky. Might be getting pulled into this fight, but going to be so attempted some cap pressure, but maybe fully flashed Ubers there from Shio's side. Going to mean that there's not a great deal of cap time coming through as the heavy is out now and the damage is coming in. Uber charge used up. Lucky just going to be ending now. Well, that's 3 picks going the way of Alien Workshop. They're going to push out and they might be looking to walk even further forward.
Hitherto, it has really shown how equal these teams are matched. I mean, we call out maybe some mistakes, but in contrast, you have to also emphasize that a lot of players are just turning up individually and also along each other, you know, in Team Fortress 2 working together as a team can help. Who would have guessed that one? But the Uber stakes are firmly in the advantage currently of Zio, who has a 30% advantage, and they are in the receiving scenario of getting initiated on maybe soon on the side of the Chinese color team. But Doraemon is trying to, I don't know, pry forward, bit cautious, or a bit more cautious action should have probably worked better, but he survives, so no harm done.
Yeah, this Uberad is sort of fading away slightly. But yeah, really nice turn of pace there from Alien Workshop. Right? They get those picks on last and they just cap up so quickly. They manage to basically get 2 points with they cap second and they just able to deny those forward spawns. And this is a position I don't think we've been in too often this game, with these even Ubers over on the red side at second. Obviously plenty of times over on Alien Workshop second as going to be Yoshi sort of jumping in, trying to provide some space for Kazuki to jump all the way around and in. One rocket on the medic, nearly lands the second as well. Good effort there. Shio taken down to about 50 HP in the midst of that as we have to be a retreat now over from the rest of Alien Workshop. See the counter-attack can come in though from the red side.
Yeah, there they come. Ox is going to focus Lander into a passive position, but Rory also dies to the stickies that were still laying in that choke area, and Lander had the eyes on that, detonated it, so it's 2 players down currently onto the red populace, but Kevin is going to get absolutely manhandled there by Barney.
Yeah, they've lost the demo. That's such an important pick. These 2 spawners are going to be coming on the red side, so maybe this could be an opportunity to get some things snuck in. Tavi's still only 5 seconds away from that respawn. Kazuki had a moment there, I believe, on Sniper, and then came back because he decided, you know, this is getting too messy. Thought it was going to be an opportunity for things to slow down and get on that Sniper, but no, going to be just going back to the stock standard as Varnu who's actually managed to get in this time. Got a pick to sneak. Who is traded that one? Lander's caught. There's so much damage in this choke.
Yeah, I want to make amends, by the way. I was complimenting Tavi obviously in the push before, but he makes amends for it even more so, getting 2 kills there by the sake of his stickies, and Kazuki is owning the skies. Rory also going to get piped away by Tavi, who is on a 3k. If you just look at the past 15 seconds, Ox also scared out by Wild Piggy's laser pistol. They're going to claim that point. Still, Gio does remain unforced. Doraemon still caught out in the lower IT area. Sneaky is on the duty alongside Wild Piggy as a soldier. A double scout is really not what you want to see.
Yeah, was caught in there, tried to peek back out, but like looking up to the point, the sad face from Doraemon, just seeing the scout on the high ground, just staring straight into his face. Is no entry back up there. But for the player down, this could be a good opportunity to send some sacks in, but actually used to getting caught out in the choke, and a force comes in as well. Going to be Lander going in, getting that one. Now to see what this can do. It looks like at the moment this Uber charge not getting a great. He's got the gun. That's about it from Kyo. Only looking very safe behind this heavy.
They don't even get the counter force. Kazuki was also in again as a sniper from the 1 area, but Ox had a brilliant initiation jump there into the lobby, forced Sneaky so weak, and ancillarily we had another player walking in through the left side of the lobby, and that forced Lucky to pop and even lose one player, which was Heavy, and then Sneaky was so weak. So that entire Uber was basically done for, you know,
nice air
well,
shot.
didn't even push all that much out, but yeah, I mean, nice air shot.
Yeah, nice air shot to him, but they're not going to get the kill, but they're going to do a decent amount of damage. And well, Piggy actually getting caught out on the way out, as there is still about a 20% ad, so it looks like Alien Works, but I have to respect this, they're going to have to back all the way out onto their own last point, going to give up 2 points essentially there. That little flip up around the mid, and going to see the red side already bursting in through 5. They want to go into panic, they want to try and take some space, but Shio taking a fair bit of spam on the way, because he's going to use the Devilman drop to the Uber. Lander's gone down, and this is looking so much better now for Alien Works, because they can start sweeping out these red players.
Brilliant pipe work, and Tevi completely sapping Lander of all his vitality and also the push of its nucleus power, as they basically all went down there at 20 minutes. For me, it seems at least have flown by, and we're still, you know, on 0-0 scoreline, which is completely insane. Currently, it is Zio building with Rory, but it will be a equal Uber percentage. So we're once more in a position where we maybe trust into, well, suiciding players, because I don't see any off classes. Oh, well, Sneaky is onto Sniper currently.
Yeah, this is one of those games, it's 0-0, but this could easily be like a 3-3 already, right? With the amount of chances teams have had and the amount of back and forth, like, it's kind of a miracle this is still actually sat at 0-0 with going into these final 10 minutes. As, like you said, Sneaky to be on the Sniper, they're getting the gun up already. They'll be trying to see if they can lock out these doors, see if the red side can make their way in. Currently just sort of pressuring in towards lobby. Now the Uber charges are ready for either side. Makes it a lot more safe on this push, as seeing who's going to be the first one to jump in. There is a Sniper to contend with though, so peeking lobby, you have to be fairly careful, because Sneaky is watching it. Alander actually getting caught out to stickies is going to surely call off any attempt to sack wave.
So far, how I monitor this game is Tevi is really turning up. He's always getting 1 frag, 2 frags. Also, little Surf is going to secure Sneaky's life, who was peeking from the one area, but in contrast, Ox and even Doraemon are also playing great on the opposing team, as they always bomb in and are in unexpected scenarios. Vanu hit the kill bind.
Yeah, Vanu came out of spawn, and then did Vanu not mean to come out of spawn there on Sniper?
But he has a theorem, which is what he's posting in chat. But yeah, I mean, we don't really know. Genius minds work in different ways, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. Have we changed Sniper? What Sniper are we on now? We're on the orb. Did they roll out on stock or something? Or have they been playing like MVM and they were on the Hitman's Heatmaker or something like that? So I'm just gonna, you know, there's plenty of time to work with. There's still almost 3 minutes left.
I mean, now he's on the counter striker Sniper, right? The upper hand. Don't know if that gives them any sort of, you know, upper hand, but well, we're just waiting for him.
Yeah, currently just trying to peek in through 3. There's plenty of options for peeking in through this lobby. Gonna actually stand straight in front of Tavi. Not going to take too much damage, but not going to land the shot either. It's now going to roll over towards 5. This is the more traditional way in. Suzuki on duties to be the counter sniper, but not in the usual traditional sense, as Lander actually the one to fall to a sniper. And that's the other one I wasn't paying attention to.
Vanu's so weak as well.
Yeah, Vanu's getting bombed in. Going to be shots on from Yusti as well. 2 players down, including a Devilman. Yusti gets taken out, so they'll probably call a halt on any sort of immediate aggression.
They got
sneaky peek in.
Pelted so much, and Vanu plastered rather to the ground, but Lander is consistently dying in my eyes. I don't want to single him out, but I feel like he's not on the same wavelength there with his team, or he's always falling victim. But essentially, you know, they don't really lose out that much since AIM Workshop didn't push out.
Yeah, there was an attempt there at like a peek up from up top from Sneaky, just going to try and see if there's any options of getting a cheeky little headshot in, but it was well watched. Not going to manage to get anything, as again, like you say, Vanu getting caught out to spam once more. Yusti able to land those rockets onto the sniper. And again, this time has ticked down, right? This is like the first time we've really slowed down in this game for an extended period of time, because honestly, like the red side, they haven't really looked too threatening until last so far, right? We're 3.5 minutes into the stalemate, and what are they going to go for? They're going to go for a trade now and maybe try and hook up something in the post fight. Looks like Vanu going to be coming back up on scouts. That could be leaning more towards that direction, but it's going to be hard. Minute left in this clock. It has to be really this next push or never.
Definitely, and let's see if it is imminent. I also have a little idiom there from my cat calendar, but maybe that has to work right there, as Luba is going to come out onto Rory. Solo Ubering. Suzuki took some damage previous and prior to that fight, but the Uber is longer in duration for Lucky and it scares them out. Vanu also falling, and I wanted to say, I see no hero plays anymore. People are growing with the challenge, but they also seem to shrunk with the requirements, as you know, the game has slowed down from a canter to a trot, it seems.
Yeah, we were saying about like what, 4 minutes ago about how quickly this game had gone by and how much there'd been sort of this back and forth action, back and forth across the field. But now we've been sat here now for 4.5 minutes, and there's 30 more seconds left before this round is going to be over. We've got a spy coming out on Vanu. We've got 20 seconds left, so cap time is of the essence now for the red side. They need to be getting something early on in this push, as now they're going to start clearing up into this lobby. 12 seconds left. Someone's going to have to stand on this point pretty soon. Teleporter and gun taken down already. Kazuki going to be jumping in, trying to get over towards Lander. The sniper looking over across, and actually a fair few frags are going the way of the red side now. They're getting a lot of cap time. They're going to sneak it through on the 0 seconds. They're just walking in.
I don't know, man. Like, Lucky also dropping there in that post fight because he caught up on the Uber. Tevi was so far forward on that left side. He wanted to force or something. I mean, Kosuki jumped in there to sort of force the enemy team early, but he did survive. But the problem was Tevi was so far forward and tried to pipe players, and then they lost 2, and Lucky was in spawn on 98%, getting his Uber, but they lost 2 players already, and they were forced into the spawn, so nothing is going to happen. Currently, Espano is going to get piped in the air, Doroman as well. Lucky is falling, however.
Yeah, going to be a bit of a scrap now. They swap sides, and it's all about how many of these red players can get away to safety. It looks like the safety is going to be over in that blue second point as Shio going to be the all-important target on the back as they try and waltz their way in. Kazuki going to be the first to sneak it in as well. Everyone nuking the damage on this red combo. Ox is so weak also. But there's only Wild Piggy left on this point. Going to have to take a fight with Vanu and just run out behind. So midpoint, I guess, technically going to be won by the red side, but Alien Workshop going to have a bit of an Uber to work. They've got Wild Piggy in behind, being a nuisance, being a constant threat. We're going to maybe see some instant repushes coming in from Alien Workshop, because time again of the essence for them. They are down to 4.5 minutes to get themselves back in this game. Wild Piggy has led everyone on that wild goose chase, more like over towards the last point. They're both scouts all the way back on red last.
Great stickies on that mid of Lander to pick up Lucky early on, but, you know, meticulous attempt, I would even say profoundly curated there by Alien Workshop finally, and getting the enemy medic, but it only really enables them to have 20% advantage since Lucky spawned earlier. Currently also, Justy is trying to high bomb this point, also Wild Piggy did spawn in time, so full complement of players up onto both sides. But what has changed? Well, we are only 4 minutes to go, and it's a 1-0 for the team that has the initiative currently.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it all the more hard, right, when you're pushing out of your own second. There are options, but so much more difficult trying to go in from the other side. Yeah, 3 minutes 40 left on this clock. There's no time to round reset now, no time to get stuck in a long stalemate. It's now or never for Alien Workshop, at least on this map 1 of processes. As we say, Uber charges have equalised out. This like 20-ish% add from spawning earlier, not going to matter at all. As players now grouping up for a push into IT. Darema might be getting caught blindsided here, going to be charging in. Nice flash there though from Shio, able to save the soldier, and now it's about how many of these players can get out, how many can jump in. Yoshi then jumping in a bit too aggressive, they're going to be taken down. Leave the scouts, and look at the damage coming in from the red side. Everyone basically falling on the Alien Workshop side, and yeah, that's the risk of pushing out like that, taking those aggressive trades. As Wild Piggy going to try and salvage in, going to get nothing. Tavi going to catch Lander, which is something I guess, but 1v4 clutch up attempt required on this last point. Tavi not going to manage it, and we're going to be surely getting a 2-0.
Also, the head work by Gio is coming out as the Solemn Vow claims a victim. 2-0. This has to be some sort of a TCM magic, as they have to basically roll them 2 times here on the side of Alien Workshop. They were looking like the favorites early on, and then it kind of evened out, but you see, if you don't make enough out of the big advantages that you're given or that you engineer yourselves, then the action's kind of abating and you're left dry when the enemy team just caps 1 point, and now they cap another. Sneaky is also going to get controlled there on the top area. Teddy is going to get absolutely faltered away, and Lucky has a quarrel there for Lander. They're winning this bit.
Yeah, they're winning it. There's still a couple of players to deal with. Ox was an unknown for a moment. They're going to have to run back out into sewer. There's 2 players caught behind now. Vanu and Ox both separated out, one in IT, one over in sewers. As points getting capped up. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. Yeah, like you're saying, TCM land, maybe this is possible, but not all teams are TCM, so it's going to be a really rough one. But they're still going to go for it. They're still going to give it their best shot here in just a second. Dream going to jump in, and actually is taken down also. So big Uber ad. few players up as well. There's still a bit of a scrap happening on mid as Tavi's going to find that nice little pipe there over onto Vanu. But players already bursting their way into last, and early Workshop want to give this a go.
Yeah, and they probably have a great cards dealt for them. However, the stickies are diffused on the point currently, and the sentry gun that was not dealt early on is going to get rendered absolutely useless currently as 2-2-1. You say not every team is a TCM, but I think Alien Workshop are quite happy with being Alien Workshop currently. But in contrast,坏蛋必须死, so the opposing team alongside Gio and Lander's names, they are also pretty happy here, since it is currently the compromise that they have to think about. Do we play this passive and sort of secure, or do we just show up to the midpoint? And they opted for the second choice.
Oh, nice 2 rockets there from the Raven. 2 huge directs. Gonna get Tavi instantly. Kazuki's gone down also. Big bombs in, gonna try and get on Shiu, who's currently living for a long time. With the arrow across from Lucky. What a kill that is. But Lucky gonna have to find a few more where that one came from. As last one alive. Gonna be running all the way back out, and this is surely be map number 1 going the way of the red side. Early Workshop. Good attempt. A nice little med kill there from Lucky in that mid fight. I thought that Shield was maybe gonna get out alive, but not to be. So yeah, midpoint going to be going the way of the red side. No time now as we go into garbage time. People are going to have a little bit of fun for these last 20 seconds. Look forward towards the next map.
Was that I just bombed Zero there and sort of switched targets there after hitting 2 rockets onto the medic. Just wanted to leave the enemy medic's frag open to his own medic, but unfortunately, as you pointed out, not enough time. Lander falling. It's all about padding your stats currently, but 2-1 in the favor of the team that has a name that translates to bad guys always die. Well, and good guys maybe always win. Well, we have to see, as this is the first map of a potential best of 3 tonight. And before we head on to very fine numbers, I also want to quickly say that Granary is played as a secondary map and Gully may be the decider, but I also have hopefully enough voice to quickly introduce the histories of both those teams, because I felt like Huadan Bishushi, so the Lander team, had a bit of a smoother ride through the main season. They claimed 5 wins and 1 tie versus Samakot, and lost against that same team in yesterday's upper bracket final, which forces them currently to play this very game against Alien Workshop. But on the contrary, Alien Workshop in their own main season only won 3 main season games, had 2 ties and 2 losses. So if you only look at that, you can always say one team is the favorites and the other one is the underdog, but it felt very, very equal as the game progressed.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, 2-1 scoreline over in the red side. Probably fair in the balance of play, but like that's not saying that Haley Worship didn't have their chances, right? They had a good couple of Uberad last pushes earlier in the game. Even if the first mid, they got like almost a full wipe on the first mid. Didn't manage to convert that into a round. And again, like the first round that the red side did get was off basically a Hail Mary attempt with 20 seconds left of let's just throw everyone at the point in an Uber trade and just see what happens. And yeah, like they just catch out Illy Workshop completely. And yeah, it was just those couple of clutch moments that just went the red side's way. But on a different day, I think this first map could have been a very different result.
Also, tying or segueing even into the cold numbers, I want to fill them a little bit with life, and I was lauding Tevi on the Alien Workshop side a little bit more than Lander on the opposite side, as Lander is going 7 in 13, and I had the feeling he was dying a lot. Tevi has more deaths, but he is going 21 in 15. As demos, it isn't always about the kills. You get the damage and then your other players clean up. And if you look at it, then Tevi and Wild Piggy have a shared top fragging material there at sitting on 21 frags each. But after that, we have 3 players on the Lander team, Rory, Vanu, and Ox. And Vanu, if I look at this, only was missing a Pyro and a Heavy to have a full complement of off classes. He was switching a lot between Sniper and even Spy at some kills. Oh no, he has a Heavy, never mind. He was only missing Pyro then. But we had a lot of cheeky tactics. Do you see anything memorable here? I just quickly want to shift my eyes also to the medic stats. 1 drop each. Lucky with sizably more heals per minute. But, it is always very subjective, the reads onto logs. What do you see?
Yeah, I think that 1 drop more the one that Kazuki got right. Like that was, I think, the turning point, like game wise, right? Like obviously Kazuki had a great bit of time on Sniper. We know that Kazuki's capable of this. Got a couple of kills, but they were high impact and did quite a lot of damage on that way. But I think, yeah, that was such a golden opportunity. Just getting all that spacing through one and wasn't able to be converted. But yeah, logs-wise,
both
honestly,
drops,
pretty balanced, yeah.
both drops were very memorable. If you remember, Gio just got dropped from this brilliant flank there by Von with through under
Oh,
I2.
yeah, from underneath, yeah. There's
So sort of one cheeky scenario, and the other team basically talking about Gio's drop not covering the angles, and that was what I alluded to earlier. We're in the Division 1 playoffs currently, and we're heading straight toward the grand final. So those mistakes can really cost you dearly, since it should be unforgivable, and those teams are definitely here to stay.
Yeah, well, we've got a new map coming up. We've going over towards towards the realms of Granary, and this is going to actually be the pick of the red side. Alien Workshop pick process, and as we saw, we had the people pick ban earlier, but Alien Workshop, a known product-loving team, they will always play product given the opportunity. But that was banned this time, so they went for the next best, which is process. I guess if you want a big open map where you can have your scouts have plenty of fun, product is the place, but process is a close second. So that was their pick, but seems like the red side are going to be favouring more towards a Granary, and Gully Wash will be the decider. These two teams actually met earlier on in the season, back in week 5. Of course, everyone meets everyone in these round-robin divisions, and honestly, if we get to that Gully Wash map, I'm pretty excited at the prospect of it, because it was a 5-3 in regular season towards the red side. But yeah, anything can happen on Gully Wash. It's a crazy map, can be incredibly fast-paced at times. But we've still got the map to go there, and it's going to have to be a win of the opponent's pick for Alien Workshop if we are to get there.
Pretty close score lines. I mean, Granary obviously with a little bit of more confined spaces, not only in general, but also comparing it to, let's say, Process, what we just played. But again, I always talk about this mentality of maybe not caring all that much about map picks. I mean, it's not like you can just give up. You could give up, but you shouldn't do that if you're just on the enemy team's map pick, you know? I mean, you just play to win. So kind of that needs to be the mentality currently. In the blue squadron, we once more have Alien Workshop featured, and the red is comprised of bad guys always die. What's your prediction for this one?
I don't know. It's I've not really seen too much Alien Workshop on Granary before, but I think it's a map they could do pretty well on. I think last game was very close. It was very scrappy, and I guess scrappy games on Granary often end up being quite entertaining. So I think we'll have something close. I've got to say, I'm going to be boring. I'm going to favour the team that's already won. Even as much as I'd love to see a Gully Wash coming up in the next map, I think this might be 1-2. I think it'd be close. So maybe call it a 3-2 towards the red side.
Mayhaps it spurs Alien Workshop on, as they can hear the vibes reverberate through the Mumble atmosphere. But what I also witnessed and pointed out, Tevi has been having the edge in my eyes over Lander, so maybe that will translate well into Granary, as we're going to translate into Granary either way, as the plugins are going to get unloaded first. My bit fight will unravel shortly. Both teams are rolling out, so Ben, let's teach us something about the midpoint, and you know, what will these players cook up?
Yeah, it's all eyes and demos, I guess, at the start of these ones. See who goes to the pack, see who wins this early race. Looks like a slightly faster rollout there from Lander as the spam war begins. Both teams just playing over towards the left-hand side so far. See who's the first one to light the fire, light the fuse these bombs. It seems that the red side going to be bombing in. 2 soldiers landing high onto the combo. Tabby taken down as so much damage being taken. Lucky's gone down also. But look at these players going on the other side. Shio goes down. And actually, never mind, the double bomb does great work, but the rest of the team loses all of their fights as Alien Workshop with a massive win on mid. Lucky goes down, but almost everyone else survives.
It's not as good as in the previous map. It was a full wipe also on the bad guys always die side, but in that previous map, Lucky didn't die, and they didn't cap that last point in that very first round, obviously. So maybe if Lucky dies right now, maybe they have a better push here. But it is a second fight, even since Rory and Lander are obliged to walk forward here. Doraemon also a little bit weak and lonesome currently walking forward. Lack of discipline, I don't know, but also lack of coverage by his own players. The point is going to get capped in a second, and Lucky has 7% advantage. Lander also down.
Demo's down already, and there's no Ubers up for this fight. This is completely dry pushable. High ground already been taken by Alien Workshop as they're starting to swarm their way in. Tabby's gone down to the heavy as big bombs come in. Heavy taken down already. Cap time coming through. Couple of players trying to sneak their way onto this point. The red side still fighting tooth and nail to block as best as they can. And it seems like Alien Workshop are going to have to back out and just play the ad. They got Shio late in that fight, so they do have a massive advantage to work with. But I thought they could have even won the round there and then.
Against the Chinese Mandarin enthusiasts, never ever something is ever free, honestly. Like, they have so much GM still in their works, even if their medic dies, but Alien Workshop and especially Lucky had great conservative positioning, which ends up with them having a full advantage currently, as Tevi is going to get popped on and still some cap time to play here. Sneaky is going to walk on that point, but he doesn't get flashed again, so Ox is going to claim that life, and while Piggy also falling, Kazuki down as well, Justi falling, 2 players alive, 0 casualties on the red populace.
Yeah, that was such a great defense, and I guess maybe Shio's kind of regretting things now, because Shio came up with the crits for like the disad crits attempt, but the crits A wasn't ready in time anyway, and B, like, they don't need it anyway. Now they've pushed out of, they held the push completely on their own, and now they're kind of, I guess, stuck on a crits almost. They're going to obviously try and get what value out of it they can, as they're going to start walking their way all the way towards Gary's. Crits is ready to be popped at a moment's notice, as Lander going to be getting ready to walk him. Often the usual target of these is the demo, but no one's there, no one's home on the Alien Workshop side. They're all backing out already, and going to walk even further. Is Lander going to get this shot off?
I wanted to say crits is the surprise factor, but Alien Workshop conceded the point other way. Tevi is still forward a little bit and caught as a result of that in yard. But I mean, as I was saying, Alien Workshop conceded that point anyway, and now they're aware of the crits.
And they're completely aware of it, and like with full Uber of their own, like this is almost working in Alien Workshop's favour. I know they're on their own second, but like sort of pushing out now with big advantage, and knowing that Shio is only going to have a crits when the Uber charge comes up. Like, sure, this is definitely got to be in Alien Workshop's favour, right? Especially catching that kill there, hitting out 1 for 1. Justi actually taken down in the end of that one, going in for that kill into Ox's. Yard been taken already, 78% on the crits for Shio, so that's going to be coming up very, very soon. So it's kind of all eyes on Lander again, right? See if anything big can come of this as the push comes in. The Uber charge used in through choke, and a dive bomb all the way across the point is Tavi. Take as much space as possible, but looks like a rotation of the cards, and this could be the crits time.
An entire Uber used onto shooting the environment since the enemy team already left the vicinity.
Oh,
One is going to fall, however, and Tevi is going to fling the pipes over. I don't even see if Gio did. I don't even see if Gio popped his crits, but it is not going to keep him alive either way. So Gio falling, Lucky still with the heals pumping out. Ox in the air, but only finds Sneaky, who is going to plummet him all the way into the ground, grounded for you. And Lander also escaping with half of his HP, 50% Uber ticking onto Sneaky. And I guess, yes, Zio does switch to Uber.
I'd be fuming if I was Kazuki. Kazuki hits such a nice air shot there onto Lander, literally takes Lander down to 1 singular health point as the Demo Man is running back out. But again, Ubershot advantage on the side of Alien Workshop. We've seen these on both maps go against them, but now again, such a golden opportunity to get in and get some cap time, get a point on the board early on in this game, as they're going to use it in through the left side again. Gun getting spammed down already, Heavy getting spammed down up top as well as the push comes across, swapping over towards the right hand side. Maybe to Rainbow, trying to jump in behind the combo, trying to do what damage they can. Lucky dodging and weaving as the players on the other side. They're going to try and go in and get some cap time. Tavi's getting caught out though, and this fight is going on a bit longer than is comfortable for the Alien Workshop side. As Sneaky tries to sneak in behind, but again, the defense holds strong. How can you push against this red team, even with ad?
I mean, fantastic positioning there, honestly, by Vaughn, who went forward and kited it that way because he realized that Alien Workshop was not pushing from their right side, and they had players in the front and in their own behind area, and that is pretty crazy if you think that the offensive team is obviously pushing, so it's even difficult for a defensive team to end up in that set position. However, Zio has 40% advantage. Lander so weak as well, going to secure his own life. However, Justi is the victim of that entire sequence of play.
Yeah, but in that sort of delay, that bomb in, I'm just going to get healed up a bit more, means that Lucky is already at 90%. And yet Yard might have to be conceded with the player down, but at least they're going to have the Uber when the push comes in onto second as the high bomb comes in. One nice look at onto Lucky, going to get Tavi actually, so that might be something. Down down, definitely a worthy trade for a soldier. But this player's still getting caught in on chokes, got trade written all over it.
Better Uber management currently out of Lucky, also caught. Justi was in the air, but while Piggy falling on the flank, so once more, this is the impetus to pushing backwards, but only then to lure in Lander. Zio also falling, Justi bombing in from behind. Sneaky take a 1v1 there with a Doraemon, and Rory is the last one as a straggler to fall into this fight, and only 2 players left alive. Vanu on such low HP amount, and again, Ox in, Ox in, but Sneaky working on his 5-kill streak. Such a huge opportunity once more.
Yeah, Yoshi did so well there, just caught the perfect timing to open the shutter and just get, like, literally, there's a reloading Rory in front and the medic. Just both completely free kills in front of the shutter, just waddles through and just unloads 4 really well-placed rockets into them and gets both those kills. And now, again, big Uber advantage for the side of Alien Workshop. There's a sniper to contend with in forward spawn, which is potentially going to see some eyes as Tavi and Sneaky peek around that corner to the right-hand side, but have to shut the shutter back up again. Second point going to be taken. The overcharge advantage, though, is dwindling by the second as Ox has gone down. Sniper has back spawned, and they're still going to try and walk this in. Only 15% ad. Shio's going to have very, very soon, unless Tavi has anything to say about it. The bombs come in. The kill comes through, 95% on Shio at the time of death. And now 3 players up, make that 2 on the defending side. Alien Workshop just got to get onto this point, get these stickies off it, and they have a free cap there. Couple of spawners coming in. Looks like Lander, very low HP, and the cap comes through finally. Alien Workshop make one work, and honestly, with probably the least Uber ad that they've had in any of these previous pushes, that's the one that works.
But way better executed. Even White and Bishoshi can't defend against this because only 2 players left alive and Zio caught out on almost having Uber. The difference was that Alien Workshop started with pushing on the left and then rotated to the right, and instead of instantly focusing Zio, they also put themselves into positions where they could cramp up the enemy players in the forward ground, and then, you know, those players can't back out to their own spawn anymore and get resupplies, and then they fell. And we're into a secondary mid-fight. Huge bomb onto Zio currently by Kazuki. Gets 1 rocket, but the counter sack of Ox is going to find Lucky.
Yeah, absolutely, and now sides completely swapped over. We've had the position similar on process, but again, medic advantage for the red side. Shio survived that first big high bomb from Kazuki, and now with 5 players up, 5v3 with heal advantage, they're going to start trying to waddle their way in. Can they keep Shio alive? Looks like Sneaky going to try and get up through the garage, not going to manage it. Everyone goes down, and nicely taken there from the red side. Going to have such a monumental advantage as well. Lucky only just spawning in, going to be up on the crits as the red side already getting dealt with mid, walking into second 2, they're going to have an Uber ad push of their own.
It was not a tale of 2 cities, maybe by short seconds, it was a tale of 2 soldiers. Doraemon and Ox were the victors of that entire mid-fight. They had such good coordination onto those bombs, and afterwards could even clean up the results and claim their spoils of war after cleaning up Tavi, for example, on the low ground. And currently it is almost equal once more, as Lucky did die. Zio did not die, but it's a crit.
Laser beams,
laser
beams, but there's still shiny players in front. Like 3 times damage doesn't make a difference when there's invincible people in front of you. The crits is used up, and honestly doesn't get much value at all. As yeah, Lucky's the only one to survive on that one, and what a bounce back that is for the red side. Go round down, and within 2 more minutes, back to even Stevens at 1-1, and yeah, that mid fight went so well, and yeah, well coordinated last push. Red side now, their first time of asking, managed to get a point on the board.
It's almost as if you divide by 0 there, but it didn't create any sort of nether. But you know, crits against shiny players will not end up mattering at all. You can force them to flash multiple players so they don't die, but it didn't really work since they had good eyes on who should take the Uber. Tavi is so weak, forced into his own choke, and Wild Piggy on the very lonesome there on the high ground. Sneaky falling, both medics still alive, Zio low on HP, but more man and woman power. Bono is also still only scaring out Tavi and Lucky, but once more a claim on the midpoint.
Yeah, the important thing this time though is that I don't quite know how, given what happened on that mid-fight, but both medics somehow get away with their lives, which is very impressive, I've got to say. Both of them were under serious peril at various points of that one. But with spawners coming now for Alien Workshop, they're not going to be able to contest Yard, but they can at least get some sort of setup on their own second, as the red side now going to be looking to peek in. Uber chargers even on both sides. It's been sort of long enough to get these spawners in that the Uber chargers are ready. We'll see now what the red side go for. They're going to go for the sort of stock standard play up through Lunchbox. It seems like that's where the beam's heading, so that could be on the cards.
Zio was turtling in the garage on that mid-fight, and Lucky was so passive in that choke, which ended up having both of them survive. In the Lunchbox currently, by the way, Ox and Doraemon are trying to shoot some trouble up, getting fully buffed there by Zio, but great rocket by Kazuki. disables Doraemon's efforts of jumping Lucky. Currently, though, Lucky is vaulting his own players on the high ground, and Ox without yields currently. The sides have swapped. Zero is already in, going to get shot by White Piggy. He does not have enough health there to force the enemy medic, and they're all through the lunchbox here on the red side and going to claim that ground.
Yeah, and Yoshi getting caught out in the connector as well after that fight means now there's actually 2 players up, and they can walk in last already. The red side already trying to start a fight, and they're going to get a trade out. Sneak going to walk in, going to try and get Ox to use Ox with a much better Uber, and they're still waiting for spawners here on the Alien Workshop side. The bombs coming, Tavi going to win that one against Ox, but he's taken down in trade. There's only 3 survivors now for the red side. Make that 2. Wild Piggy trapped in the spawn as they get it capped up, and yeah, as soon as we go 1-0 up, literally 2 nice mids away. The red side back in commanding lead again, 2-1 up, and what a turnaround these last 5 minutes has been.
The comeback needs to happen soon for Alien Workshop, otherwise the favorite factor, or being the favorites here of Lander's team, is going to be so strong. Their strength is only ever increasing, and I mean, basically big Uber advantage push there, forced the enemy team into spawn, and then it was only a lonely soldier who could claim that point, since he had no other players anymore shooting him. We're on to a fourth mid-fight even. Fourth mid-fight, Lander very healthy, 0 onto half HP. No one currently dying, Justi kind of high-bombing, but not finding any marks or any rockets onto the enemy team. Kazuki though, landing onto Lander. Lucky is not so lucky after all, going to get absolutely torn apart, but Sneaky is in onto Ox. Rory gets cleaned up by Kazuki. Zero also dying. They're chasing in the yard.
Yeah, MGE fight to decide this one. Going to be Vanu winning it out on 15 HP, but not able to keep the medic of Shio alive. And yeah, great attempt there. Like, I like it was like a 3v3, but there was 2 players behind for Alien Workshop, and I wasn't quite sure that Shio and the defenders were quite aware of how far behind they could be, because they had Justi and I believe Wild Piggy literally entering the choke behind the leaving red medic. But maybe with the spawner advantage, seems like Alien Workshop can start taking space on mid already. There's only 2 red players in currently, and they're actually going to start walking in trying to contest this, but all the space can be taken by Alien Workshop. They can take all the high ground that they want, as a bomb actually going to be flying over and in from Ox. They're actually trying to waddle it in onto Raymond as well. Look, he's taken so much damage, and Tavi's gone down. But for the cost of 2 soldiers, Demoman might not quite be worth it. Kazuki going in behind him, might be looking the door behind again. Going to get a kill to Shia, and more frags coming through. Rory going to be in trying to deal something, but Vanu last to live. And again, this flank behind from Choke works absolute wonders for Alien Workshop.
Absolute crunch. We saw 2 soldiers trading for Tevi, and you might think that would favor Alien Workshop on face value, but afterwards Lander hit a great pipe there and evened the grounds, but you didn't even allude to it. You pointed out correctly as the air shot, but Lucky pops just in time. That was almost an air shot, mid-air drop, but in the nick of time there. Lucky is going to save his own honor and his own team, but it's a force either way. Vanu and Doraemon are down. Lander still alive and kicking, sticking out the remaining chokes, but the yard is currently taken by Tevi and Sneaky.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to try and get as much value out of this use as they can, as they're already trying to pull their way in onto second with the pressure they've got, but they've got to be careful. Shio's going to have a decently sized advantage after this one, as Yoshi trying to pressure in actually oversteps in that connector. It's so easy to do, and he's going to be taken down, as now Shio going to try and burst out into this yard side. Going to try and see if they can get a good favourable trade behind. They're going to cut in. The Alien Workshop players, they're all getting trapped in. Ubercharge used out already. Lucky going to try and escape, but getting hounded down by these attacking players. Kazuki, they're going to try and defend, but it's not going to be enough. And what an Ubercharge that is, straight in from the yard. The pincer maneuver onto the Alien Workshop combo. They get all the house as they start charging forward. They're going to take mid, they're going for second as well. Sneaky's up on Sniper, but look at the amount of ground this one Uber has earned.
No idea how Lucky survived for so long in the face of 4 players Ubert rushing him, but it only meant that he spawns later, and great, fantastic Uber even by the red squadron, as they completely pincer them and crush them into oblivion. Kazuki is currently battling it out on the top area with Doraemon, but he does back out. It is only really a negotiable Uber if you... Oh, it's crit squeak once more. It's crit squeak onto Lucky, but we saw how the previous engagement worked out when he was on crit squeak.
Yeah, it's all about, you've got to hold on to it if you can, obviously. You've got to try and get it in that post fight, because that's when the laser beam heavy is really at its strongest. But with Ubercharge coming in so much sooner for the red side, they're going to try and pressure out, trying to get these kills. If they can, gun taken down already. I think all eyes on this crit, see what it can get. The laser beams are out, getting 2 kills, 3 kills already on the crits. And Rory's in trouble as well, 4 kills on the crits. Could it be a 5-5 on the crits? And we questioned the laser beams last time, but there are no questions at all. A 5k on the hold for the crits heavy. What a hold.
I didn't question it. Also, I mean, Ben, the count, it was apparently 1 frag, 2 frag, haha, no, 3 frag, 4, 5 frags, all in the matter of around 5 seconds. So brilliant, heavy work, and Lucky is going to change it back. Doraemon also falling, Ox as well, and Lander is still kind of caught there in the yard area. They're trying to pincer once more, but Lucky is, Zero rather, sorry, is not in a proactive situation to heal his own players. He's going to get furthermore completely trapped out and has to hit the killbind. Rory still in behind, battling it out. Kusuki is going to help out his combo, Lucky and Sneaky. But again, 80% advantage probably after Zio spawns. It is a much needed Uber advantage. It is still 2-1 in the favor of the red squadron.
Yeah, of course, but again, like, they're going to be not quite denying his last forward spawn, but they're looking odds on for having a good go into second with this Uber. There's going to be obviously some hiders and some attempts to slow things down. We've got Doraemon here currently set over towards yard, just trying to poke and prob. We've got Vanu up on the sniper in the forward spawn, and it's all about trying to avoid any sort of time sinks on the way in. You're going to try and keep as much ad as you can. You're trying to get into last, but getting into second is a bit harder because there's all these spam angles, there's all these tight doorways to get through. Seems so far that the combo has mostly evaded damage as they're already charging their way in onto the last point. Gun getting spammed down also. There's still some players up on the height to deal with heavy. Looks like the next focus point on this one as Vanu gets taken down, but there's plenty of Hydra being taken, and the frags seemingly coming the way of the defending side so far as space just isn't quite there, as everyone's going to have to run back out. Well, that's everyone. Half the team dies as Wild Piggy and Lucky going to be taxiing all the way back out to mid, and again another Uber push, not quite going their way. Over on Alien Workshop side.
0 cap time, by the way. I was going to point that out. The gun was level 3 in the push where it worked for Alien Workshop. It was only level 1, but it went down moderately fast.
The spy.
At any time. Yeah, I was looking at Sneaky and trying to guess if he only wanted to check for off classes. He only finds the demo man who is going to sniff him out early, and then Vanu finishes off Sneaky. I think he even killbinded since he was basically useless after that.
Yeah, good effort. I like the attempt, right? Because you know there's not really too much you're doing regardless on scout, right? You may as well, you're just going to be retreating. And they've already got a scout there to build, so may as well go for it. They're still going to get forward spawn because they died early enough. They can be ready for his next fight. As they actually push in with Uber charges ready on the blue side. They can just take the trade. Lander, Doraemon, Ox all falling in this garage. Justy's going to be the only one trader back now. But the players on the blue side start flooding their way in onto mid. Vanu left alive, and never mind. Vanu's taken down. It's a full wipe. Oh, the Justy goes down.
Sponges teamed up with Whiteboard. Full wipe once more. Doraemon is going to bombard forward through the front spawn. Not going to get to the final rocket. Lucky on such low HP amount. He wants to bolt Tevi, but Lander spawns and puts a sticky onto his.
Yeah, I see the effort they're going in, trying to just keep Tavi alive, because Tavi was the one pretty much single-handedly trying to lock everyone out of that forward spawn, but just oversteps ever so slightly round that corner, and Lander just lands a really nice sticky there, able to finish off that kill. As that could have been so much worse, right, for the red side if they're able to keep that medic alive on Alien Workshop and start trying to bully their way into second. Again, they're going to be looking at even-ish Ubers in onto last, but now as it stands, it's disad, and red side now looking to perhaps run in onto mid. They had a bit of success last time. There's no spy to deal with this time, and just some soldiers on height, potentially some bombs coming in. So we'll see how they navigate it.
They have to navigate it through against the high ground control. Kosuki is going to fall, however, gets a lot of damage. Doraemon going to crater on that red crate. Is it called crate? Because of that, Zio is going to push alongside Lander and Rory through the garage area, and they don't want to seem to park the bus, just going and taking along those namesakes. No, but it's only 20% advantage there. Lucky is going to catch up onto it, but I wanted to say it's a rather large disparity there, or even anticlimactic, since, you know, you work so hard for all these advantages there onto Alien Workshop, and then you just die to a stray sticky, and it kind of destroys all your efforts once more. But again, only 9 minutes or 8.5 minutes, and 2-1 in the favor of the team that is holding the midpoint.
Yeah, it's at that time of the game, right, where you've got to really start looking at that clock at the top of the screen And you start thinking, Alien Workshop, at what point do they start trying to go for things aggressive from their own side? Maybe it's slightly too early yet. Like, a round reset would still leave them with, what, like 4 minutes left on the clock. Like, definitely enough time to work with to make something happen. But as it stands, seems like the red side are just willing to let this clock tick down slightly. Just going to get their players buffed up and just play this ultra safe. Because as you say, at round up, they're not in the onus to do things like that. They can chill. They can just wipe some minutes off this clock and they can try and win this out at a 1-0. Doraemon going to try and go for some sort of bomb there through choke. Doesn't quite land the rockets as I have to run back, but it's low risk. Doraemon lives and is able to go back and just get some more buff, and they can just chill. They can take their time. They can go for the perfect opportunity. They can wait as long as they want for it.
It definitely was rather low risk, but I have the strong feeling that if the opening presents itself for the red side, then they will push off, but never mind, Jussi is going to claim an overextending lander, dominating lander as a result of that, and also claiming Oxys alive currently. Tevi is also in the blue crate and going to claim some ground. Vanu is sneaking in and trying to knock some players that are not Ubered in this Uber fight away. It is a better Uber currently, but Sneaky is kind of left dry currently in the garage area. They need to support him currently, but right now Tevi is going to come in. Gio falling. It's a bit of a scrap fight currently. Rory still battling it out with Kisuki, but Kisuki, while Piggy and Lucky are going to back out to the second point.
Yeah, Sheo going down is sort of objective complete there for Alien Workshop. They're able to get
everything is just a side quest.
Yeah, literally, yeah, that was the main objective, right? Get the medic in that trade, and yet they did eventually. I think it was it Sneaky there trying to block everyone on the way out of Garage, just able to just about keep Sheo in alive long enough, and Kasuki doing great damage as usual on that follow-up. But again, that overstep in Garage from Lander, and I believe Ox just opened up so many doors there on the way in, and going to lead to what, a 40% advantage, something that you can definitely use, you can definitely look to go in on, and now it seems like Garage might be the way to do that.
I'd say it's still moderately smart. I would have liked for them to pursue there with a sneak in the garage area, but never mind, that passage of play has long been passed away, and it is only Vanu falling. Kasuki also, it's a trade, and they use an Uber. There's also a player behind Doraemon on that second point. They're getting hell hunted by Wild Piggy, who is hitting his shots, dominating the opposing soldier, but it is full 100% in the bank, in the hands, and in the medigun of Zio, but they won't really make anything out of that. They're probably just waiting for their respawners.
Yeah, losing 2 players there, especially losing to Raymond so late behind, means that they might going to put a stall to this for a small bit of time, and in that time, Lucky's going to be very, very happy to have the extra time to be building it up. Currently just sat passive in Garage, trying to wait for this spawners. Ubercharge now advantage has gone down to about 30% as Yuji's going to bomb in, and Kasuki as well. Yuji's going to go down for Kasuki, might be looking to live, going to be just about getting around the corner in time, as now only the middle point and 1 frag going to be going the way of this Uber. So it's again a similar situation to the Uber push we saw before, right? Really works. They get the point and they get 1 frag, but looks like the counter push is going to be in very, very quickly. As actually Doraemon's going down, so this is an even bigger advantage. And now big bomb from the Ox. Oh, nearly gets the drop onto Lucky. Lucky uses out important force, but going to be turning the speed up now. 5 minutes left. Alien Workshop got to make something happen.
It was looking like a scout chariot Uber, but I mean, yeah, all those efforts are great, but the problem is it's usually just not fast enough, and they're just throwing themselves all the way, you know, like to the second of the enemy team. And now we even have a backup. Doraemon is there, and Vanu is also in behind. While Piggy is falling, is going to get absolutely obliterated, and they always have to chase these players. Vanu is currently down, but it allowed Zio to have this full Uber advantage, and they're going to come in here hot on their heels. Lander in as well, alongside Rory. Pipes served, no refund. Tabby falling lucky as well, and Justi is going to crater. It is only Sneaky who has to fight it out. Currently, Zio is still alive and pumping out the heals, double scout into Garage. But again, I don't want to be too critical, but they just never made any momentum before, and they just always played to play. It's so conservative, but this is so much playing into the hands of the red team.
Yeah, I remember like about 4 minutes ago I was saying about how there's like 8.5 minutes left, like in these second stalemates. They can just wait forever on Alien Workshop side. Like a round reset isn't the end of the world. With all this flip-flopping, has now meant that like there is now no time for a round reset. And with Uber advantage still sitting in the side of Sheo, like if second point flips over, like Alien Workshop will have to push out of their own last on demand. Like they can't just chill on last and wait for a round reset with a gun and a heavy and a sniper and everything. Like they're gonna have to actually actively start looking to push out, and that's going to be the situation, right? Second point's been taken for free from the red side, and now the onus is on Alien Workshop. Can they get out of their own last? But actually it seems that the red side are going to be starting to burst into anyway. Going to be even Uber's trade coming out over on the side of Tavi. Going to try and bomb in, see what damage they can get after this Uber. It seems the Uber charge on the red side is just about long enough to get everyone out in time, as the Raven are going to be coming in to try and do a bit more damage. But somehow everyone lives on both these sides. But in 3 minutes left, Alien Workshop, they're now looking at instantly, how can we start sending seconds a second? How can we start pressuring? How can we start looking at breaking out at this point? Because there is no time for a round reset, and it seems like a sniper on Sneaky is their way to go about this.
It was almost perfectly played there again by the Lander team. I mean, it would have been even more optimal for them if they obviously kept the last point, but it's going to waste all this time. And Sneaky is on the sniper. Now he's trying to do something there. He's going to find the head of Vanu, but peeking into this sticky trap is not detonated currently, but it is so dangerous there on top and probably spotted out currently. I also want to point out that the red squadron before played that almost to a perfect extent. Heavy is forward somehow. Lucky not popping his Uber, but they get the force.
Kazuki getting caught out behind as well means there's actually only 3 survivors on the blue side, and they've got a bit of a long spawn on Kazuki and Tavi, so gotta be so careful. These 2 scouts have got a lot of work to do. The scout chariot gonna start getting Uber used, but there's a constant threat of a backcap because they can't really leave the last point. They have to still stand and fight, and they're gonna fight and get 2 frags onto Rory and onto Ox, but other than that, like, this Uber just didn't quite get enough. I think people maybe overfed slightly too much there in that excitement of the pushing when the Uber charge was used by Shio, and yeah, second point potentially going to flip, but look at this Uber ad. Shio is still sitting at about 50% on this ad, and maybe coming good later on. Yusti and drop down though could be a bit of a nuisance.
The Chinese Mandarin enthusiasts are always playing it perfectly. I can't even get my point through as the action is so far shifting. Lender is fighting. The drop onto Shio is going to open the window so very wide as you can throw the medic out. It is open that wide. Vanu is still in and Doraemon is where on the right. Those are the only 2 lone survivors there, but I want to say they played that so perfectly, you know, just be annoying all the time, waste this time and have players around. Doraemon also claiming Justi's life. He's in the garage onto Lucky. Lucky's so weak, he's going to Crater. He's not going to make it, and it is only 1 minute and 20 seconds. Zio is going to build his Uber, and I'm guessing it is going to be the time for crits currently, but you know, you reflect onto all those missed opportunities before, not being aggressive enough, and the defensive team always making it so hard for you to push out. There are players behind them, they were playing passive, and then they were going back and then back in, you know, and only 1 minute to go.
Yeah, it's like correction myself there. I don't believe it was exactly a drop. I feel like it was a 99%. That kill there onto Shio, but it must feel so heartbreaking about Alien Workshop's side because that kill means nothing. Because they lose Lucky in that post fight, they overextended slightly too much and lose them to a crater of all things in Garage. And now they're just going to try and burst in 44 seconds left. It's going to be perfect over on the Alien Workshop side. And getting a free kill onto Ox early on is a good start to that, but the Uber charge is now used up by Shio, and this just means the end of everything now for Alien Workshop. Everyone dropping all over the place. 4v2 going to be just DM'd to end this one out. Vanu taken down, Rory in a fight with Wild Piggy with massive health advantage on this middle point. Seems like Wild Piggy doing pretty decent for themselves, though nearly wins that 1 out. 90 seconds left, second point being capped up, might be 2-1, might be 3-1, but the red side will be making it through to the grand final of the Division 1 playoffs.
Also very well played. I mean, that could be the understatement of the day, but I was pointing out that they just played their cards so perfectly, racing into an early 2-1 lead, and the clock is going to tick down. The, well, Chinese Mandarin enthusiasts or坏蛋必须死Landers team, whatever you want to call it, maybe make it easier for players, but I'm not guessing the grand final, so they have to, you know, sort of put up with that name. They played that so well. I mean, we saw on Process where the winning factors were a bit shifting, but here they played the this playstyle of a team that goes up 2-1 early, and then you always play a bit conservative, but you also have players behind, and even if Alien Workshop got 1 or 2 frags, then it was never a clear-cut push in that sense, since there were players behind, they had to deal with them, and then they popped an Uber, but they were not aggressive enough, which is sort of the mistake I see from Alien Workshop. They were just not supporting Sneaky sometimes, not being aggressive enough, not enabling Kazuki. And Justi was definitely doing well for himself, but Kazuki always only had to like do these high bombs, and in the first half it worked. In the second half of the round here on Granary it didn't work anymore, but anyway, yeah, those were sort of the mistakes I saw from Alien Workshop, but you can also put it in other words. The favorite team here played their cards basically perfectly.
Yeah, like I've got to say, I was very impressed by the red side. Like particularly towards the end of that game, the amount of like even when they're like, okay, they want to slow it down, they just take the trade into last because they know that trade is gonna like, and they take it perfectly. No one goes down. There's no overstaying. Like no one's getting caught. But like just I don't know, especially around the enemy last point. Like it seemed like the red side just had it all under control. And yeah, we had some big performances out from their players. The scouts of both teams having a lot of fun. And actually, to be fair, I'm pulling the logs up just now, and it seems like Sneaky's had a bit of a fun one this game. Something I didn't really notice too much, like live in game, but has secretly racked up 32 frags in the middle of that game. I guess 5 of them were on heavy in that in that brief spout we saw, but still great performance. But yeah, bit of a more balanced affair over on the red side, which I guess is showing good things going forward because they have an all important match later on tonight in the finals. So they want everyone to be on tip top form for that one.
I
Yeah, is
mean,
there
it
anything
was
screaming out to you on the logs?
yeah, it was a vicious attempt there by Sneaky. He was trying to spur his team further on, but if you look at the top 4 players, then obviously 3 of those players are well, red players, and Doraemon was doing well for himself. Also, Lander was keeping his life. Way more Tevi, by the way, going 11 in 18. Sort of the sides have swapped since Lander is now going 20 in 14. So you see how this granary map was maybe favoring Lander more, or maybe the playstyle of his own team was favoring his playstyle a little bit more. Again, my take on logs is it's always a bit arbitrary, but we saw the storyline behind that, which filled out the gaps. Also, Lucky and Geo this time around are so equal. Well, there are 2 more Medigun usages out of Lucky, but the heals per minute are almost the same. Also, 0 drops. So we have this confirmed. He was probably on 99%, but still, this 99 or 100%, it doesn't diminish that it was a great play regardless. But enough from me. I just want to thank both of those teams, absolutely unbiased, for a great show.
Yeah, it was a great one. But one of the teams that we are going to be seeing some more of later on tonight, as we are going to have a rematch of the upper bracket final. Samakot winning that first one out, actually 2-1 in the best of 3. It went all the way to that third map of Metalworks where Samakot ran away with it with a 5-0. But this time it's time for redemption. It's the red side going to be taking them on again later on tonight. So stay tuned for that one. It should be a banger. But thank you to everyone who's watching this one. Thank you to Tomato, and thank you to JMax for joining me on this endeavour. Please come back and please join us again for that grand final. It should be a belter. That match last night looked pretty good as well. So see you all later.